Grace, peace, and mercy be multiplied to you from God our Father, from our loving Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Hometown celebrities, what do you do with them? You either love them and claim them, or you're jealous of them and you hate them. Case number one, Dolly Parton. I knew her really well. We went to school together. She was a sweet thing. Everybody liked her, and I knew that one day she would become famous. Case number two, Dolly Parton. I knew her. We went to school together. There was nothing. She whined all the time. Nobody liked her. How she got to where she is, she was awfully lucky. It's going to fall one of these days. The time is coming. Just you wait and see. And so it was also in our text. For Jesus was drawing many people to himself, and they were clinging to his every word. Chapter 13 starts with these words. That same day Jesus went out of the house into the lake, and there large crowds followed him. He had to get into a boat and sit down and teach them while they stood on the shore. Then he told them many things in parables. He was famous, and the common people loved him, but not the leaders of the church. They were jealous. They tried to undermine him at every turn. And that's very understandable. You see, they had drifted so far away from Moses and the prophets. They were teaching a religion of law. Jesus came and he taught a religion of the gospel. And it's very hard to change. Either he's right and they're wrong, or they're right and he's wrong. And once you're steeped in the law as a religion, it's hard to break away from that. We see the same comparison with Martin Luther. One was steeped in the law and the traditions of men, which Jesus had warned against. And one was steeped in the gospel. And the hierarchy did not want to admit they were wrong. But our text is a different animal. You see, Jesus wasn't threatening the power structure of the city of Nazareth. They were not wrong people. It was a case of local boy makes good, and they would either cherish him or turn away from him. And that's what they did. They berated him. Where does this man get his wisdom? Who is he? He's nobody's. He's one of us. Why, we know his mother, we know his brothers, we know his sisters. They became angry. Luke changes the story just a little bit. Says he went into Nazareth where he had been brought up, and on the Sabbath day, as his custom was, he went into the synagogue. And he stood up to read, and the attendant gave him the scroll of the prophet Isaiah. And he found the place, and he unrolled it, saying, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he has anointed me to preach the good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim freedom for the prisoners and recovery of sight to the blind, to release the oppressed, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor." Then he rolled up the scroll and sat down, and then he said, "I want to tell you something. Today, this prophecy has been fulfilled in your hearing." It says they were angry. All the people in the synagogue were furious when they heard this. They got up and drove him out of town. They took him to the brow of the hill on the town was built in order to throw him down. But he walked away in their midst. He disappeared in the midst of them. Why the fury? Why the hatred? Why the harsh feelings against one of your own? Does that make any sense to you? Do you ever hear of Cain and Abel? Are you aware of King Saul and David? Have you ever heard of something called divorce? A couple falls in love. They promise to honor each other till death do us part. The two flesh become one. And then things happen. Maybe they simply drift apart from each other. Maybe there's abuse. Maybe there's drugs. Maybe adultery. Maybe desertion. And in many cases, the one you loved is the one you hate. How about brothers and sisters of the same family? Have you ever known of two brothers or two sisters, or a brother and a sister that actually hate each other? That have turned against each other? Why? Maybe favoritism. Mom always liked this one. Dad always liked that one. Maybe inheritance. Maybe one made it great and the other one didn't make it at all. How about relationships within the church? Brothers and sisters in Christ, members of the same congregation, friends and then enemy. Any number of reasons. I could go on and on and on all morning long. The things that I have witnessed done to me and to fellow members. And I suspect that every one of you knows, probably within your former congregation or congregations, such things have happened. What happens? Love and forgiveness fails. We don't have to marvel at the things that happened to Jesus personally in his hometown, for we all know within our own circle of friends, perhaps even family, former congregations, marriages, whatever, love and forgiveness fail. Sometimes we were the abused, and sometimes we were the abusers. Sometimes we were trying to help out, didn't work, and sometimes we didn't even bother to try to help. That's why in one of our confessions we say, forgive me for the things I have done and for the things I have left undone. And so it comes down to us, it comes down to you and to me. You know, the Bible is a historic book, but it's also a living Word of God. That's why St. Paul says, all Scripture is inspired by God and is profitable for teaching, rebuking, correcting, and training in righteousness. Some of the things I have witnessed seem so trivial, so unnecessary. Couples getting a divorce over something that could have been repaired, forgiven, and hopefully forgotten. Church members getting upset over something which were not important. Brothers and sisters in the same family condemning one another. Satan has had a field day. But before I can throw any stones or condemn anybody, I have to look at myself. There have been times in my ministry when I took a very hard stand, when I should have eased up a little bit. And there have been times when I looked away when I should have gotten to the problem and dealt with it. And I suspect you could say the same thing in your life. If I had my 46 years of ministry to do over again, there would be some people I would have said, oh, that's not that important. I can look the other way, or I can go along with it even though I don't like it. And hey, stop it! I won't commune you if you continue to show this hatred toward me or to other people. I let it go. One case in particular, I let it go. And the woman became more and more angry with me, and more, because she knew she was guilty, and I was innocent, and I was loving and forgiving, and she couldn't handle that, and she made it worse. And I have only myself to blame. So, I'm wrong at times. You're wrong at times. What's our confession? God, be merciful to me, a sinner. The good news is that he is. Our text doesn't spell it out, but we know the Bible is full of the gospel. For we hold that a man is justified by faith, apart from the deeds of the law. We stand before God not on our own righteousness, but on his. On the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ, who took our sins to the cross and paid for them in full. On Christ, the solid rock, we stand. All other ground, sinking sand. In the meantime, we ask God to send his Holy Spirit to us, to guide us and lead us, to follow in his steps, so that we might see him more clearly, love him more dearly, follow him more nearly. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.